Hi everybody. So today I have a new watercolor painting. I did not use those pan paints right there, like at all. I just used those tube ones. But yeah, I finally painted some animals. And the only time I painted an animal and I liked it, I painted a cat with oil paint. And other than that, I really have a hard time with animals. I don't really know like how to draw fur at all. And I think that's the part that kind of detours me away from animals, is because of the fur. They have a lot of texture, and it's a lot harder to obviously get their anatomy right, because I mostly just do portraits, so I kind of know, the skull and everything. But animals, they're all different. So this was a bit of a struggle, and I really struggled. I'm drawing a bunny, I'm drawing a dog, and I'm drawing a mouse. And this fucking mouse gave me the worst time, but I prevailed. Anyway, so when I use watercolors, I like to put like a lot of water on the paper. Not really like a wash of water, like literally a pool of water. And I will just, like what you saw in the beginning, I'll take my little watercolor brush and dip it into the paint and kind of let the paint do its thing. I like the look of it like that. Like kind of messy, letting it go wherever it wants to go. And in general, I don't really use watercolors a lot, mainly because I'm kind of impatient, which is why I like using pen and acrylic or ink, because it dries so fast. And I know with watercolors, it's all about layering, and I get impatient. So I actually used like watercolor paper today and everything, and I tried to let things dry. And you'll see in a little bit, I also used my watercolor pencils, which I love, and my watercolor markers that I use pretty much in every painting, regardless if it's watercolor. So here are the watercolor pencils and the markers that I used. I use them pretty much the same way. I think the way I prefer to use them is with the water, no, with the paper already wet, because when I tend to use them, like put down like the ink or the like pencil first and then use water, it just looks like trash to me. I much prefer to use it like that. The water's already wet and just letting the paint do its own thing. I hate the fact that in that last clip I just said when the water is already wet. Um, I meant the paper. Anyway, so here I'm just trying to fill it in, trying my best here. I was really struggling, I am not gonna lie. Like, it is so different with animals. Obviously, like I just said, like they have more texture and everything, but just the fact that they're animals and not people. And I like drawing animals. I've always like, I don't know why, as of lately I've been wanting to, maybe because I'm just, I don't know, wanting to try new things. And I really tried here. This rabbit's legs were giving me a time. It's just, I don't know. I don't typically, I know I just said I like drawing animals, but I don't draw them a lot. I just feel like I have a lot of like ideas in my head of what I want to draw in regards to animals. Because I don't want to, just like my portraits, I don't like just want to draw the animal, but it's hard because with my portraits I kind of have a rhythm in the way that I like to draw certain things. And I was really struggling. I was looking at it, I was like, how can I make this more like something I would draw? I don't know if that makes sense. I just also feel like the ugly stage in these paintings lasted way longer than in my portraits, because usually with my portraits I can kind of fix something easier, but here, oh my gosh, like um before this I drew like two rabbits, and they ended up looking like guinea pigs. I was like, okay. And then the mouse that I'm gonna draw in a little bit, I drew maybe a few days ago as practice, and it looked so good. And then I did this, and I'm like, why? But seriously, this was really good practice, and it's really interesting to see how one form, like one subject, you know, you know how to do way easier than another subject, but considering the fact that they both have like anatomy and like skulls and same thing, just because they're a different species definitely makes it harder. But it's cool to see, and it's interesting to try and put like your own style into another subject, like because of these things. Like I wonder how I would be if I drew a landscape, and I hardly ever do landscapes. I actually don't like doing landscapes that much. The only time I do them is when I want to paint my dad something. But that's kind of what I was saying earlier with the style thing. It's kind of hard when I don't know, I'm attached to the way that I draw things, and I want it to feel like me. Doing these voiceovers are so interesting because, oh, here is the finished product right here. Here's the rabbit. What I was saying was, these voiceovers are interesting because I can see how often I don't finish my sentences, and I'm sorry for that. I'm also sorry if the sound is weird today. I'm just using my iPad and not using my AirPods or my headphones. So here's the mouse that gave me trouble. I'm not gonna lie, I had to pull out my soft pastels for this because it just was not giving. It looked so weird at some point to me, so the only way I knew how to fix it, I was trying to use white acrylic paint, and I don't know what it was. I think it's just because I use water with the acrylic paint, and then it like diluted into the paint, the watercolor, or just the fact that I'm using like Five Below paints, so they're not good at all. But I was trying to do that, didn't work out, so I had to pull out my soft pastels for this one in order to get the proportions right. And I was checking the proportions of these animals like probably every 5 minutes. I used to have 3 mice as pets. I had two initially. No. I had four because I had two initially and then one died. So I got that one a friend, and then that one died, and then that one died, and then I got another one, and then that was my longest living mouse. He lived for about 3 years. They don't typically live that long, I believe. And yeah, it was crazy. They make great pets. I tell people that, and they're like, oh, they're food. I mean, yeah, but they make great pets. They're very smart. Their bites hurt so bad, but they're very, very good pets. Love that. And another problem I had with this drawing, though, is that it was giving rodent. Like, it looked like a rodent, but it didn't look like a mouse, and it just made me so upset. That's all I wanted. I just wanted a cute little mouse. But I think I ended up, I think I did good, though. I think we got there at the end. So here I am using white acrylic paint to try and fix the proportions and at least try and give it some texture. And I think the main method I was going about, the main method I was using, like to go about these paintings, was just layering everything. Like I would do watercolor, like the actual paint, then I do marker, then I do the pencils, then I do watercolor, and I just did that over and over and over again until I was satisfied. So here I am just using white colored pencil. It's a Prisma colored pencil, and then some white soft pastels to kind of fix the proportions, fix any lines that I don't like, and add some texture. Honestly, I'm not mad at it. I kind of like the way that it looks, and it was honestly pretty easy just because it is soft pastels. And here I am adding whiskers with white gel pen. So here is what it looks like. Here are the two animals together, and here's the mouse. Here's the finished product. Now we are working on the dog. So this is just the mouth. I did not do the eyes. I just did, like, the whole open mouth thing. At some point this really looked like a bear to me. I was like, gosh, this really looks like a bear. But it's fine. I think it looks like a dog. It still kind of looks like a bear. It's okay. This one was kind of hard for me because I don't know. I was trying really hard. I did so many layers of just like colors, and then like at some point I did like black all around the mouth, and then it just looked weird. So I was using white paint to kind of make up for it and try and add some sort of like silhouette to it. But this one was kind of difficult, and then yeah, but like I stated earlier, the method was just layering everything, just watercolor, pen, pencil until I think it looked good. I thought it looked good. Voiceovers are crazy because I don't know. Sometimes I don't realize what I be saying. But anyway, here I am. That's black India ink, by the way. That's not watercolor, that's just straight India ink, which I love because it dries really fast. And I love specifically India ink, the way that it like spreads when you have a pool of water just looks so cool to me. While that was drying, I just tried to fix up the background. You can see my phone. Like I always say, I keep the reference like inches away from the picture because proportions are important. And yeah. And then I go in with my pencils again and, try and fix the teeth here, try and make them a little bit more accurate to how they would look in a dog's mouth. And yeah. probably going to end the voiceover here, but thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, all that extra. Like and subscribe. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, see you in the next one.